Hey guys, welcome back. Um, Basically, I decided to do more streams, and we're gonna specifically focus on a couple of stuff. Um, Let me see. Is there a dark mode? Not really. No, we can do this. Alright, so this is our dark mode. So what we're gonna do here, let me see if we have a public folder. In a public folder, we're gonna put a couple of images, like block images, like maybe 4 or 6. Let's go to Pixabay. I just let a couple of images. I especially want to get some square ones. So I just want to go here and I want to say orientation any. Oh, okay. Well, if it's any, never mind then. All projects are done. Now we are focusing on uh, technical exercises. Okay, awesome. So let's get some images. Let's go to the public folder, fill in folder. Awesome. Can we just drag like this? No. Hey Lisa, how are you doing? All good? This just seems like a link. Copy image. I paste it, but it doesn't work. Copy image. Maybe dragging. Awesome. Woman, sport. The reason why I'm not live is because I had an interview. That's why. So I had to focus on the interview and very important. So sometimes I cannot go live because there's too much to do. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this guy expected way too much for a little pay. Couldn't go for it. Also, he was asking for every work I've ever worked at, and he was a bit paranoid. And yeah, a 5 was good, but I don't feel I don't see myself working. Also, he had a lot of legacy code. So if you don't know, um, in nowadays we do functional programming. So that means like we use function, but you can also use a class, right? You can also use the class definition. And he was programming in this, and this is very old school. Also, he was using like app params. So if you don't know what params is, it's basically type safety for JavaScript. That is what it is. And I really didn't want to invest in that skill because he's not gonna pay for that for me to invest in that. So very simple. But I learned some things that I wasn't aware before. So yeah. This is not a dog. This is a wolf almost. Uh, Wolf. on beach. We're making a block, by the way. If you don't know, I'm gonna make a little block. Just gonna find a couple of images to work on our block. Okay, let's find another image. Maybe like this one. Okay. Okay. Iceberg. I don't know. Greenland or something. I don't know. Okay, so we have 4 images now. We need to learn how to make a blog. So I'm gonna think about how we're gonna do that. I've never created a blog on my own, so it's gonna be exciting. How are you doing, by the way? I need to think about them. So, give me here. Alright, so when I think about a blog, I think about you have like an image and you have to read certain stuff, right? And after the reading, you have like some social media links, right? Some social media links, and that's it. But how you get to the blog is usually from a homepage. So you click on one of these homepages, right? You click on one of these pages, and let me use a different color here. And these pages will, one of them will go here, right? And they will go here, but it really depends on their ID, right? And the ID is meant, what is the identification of the website? And also, not to forget something, so let me use my, maybe for next time, maybe for next time. So this is what we need to do. Your stress school is hard lately. Are you managing your school right, or is it just only hard? It's just like I'm tired and they just keep pushing me to do hard stuff. So in this case, we need to have a blog page. Okay? That is something that we need. Now, I'm just gonna say blog blog page dot tsx, and we're gonna start that REFCE. And on that blog page, what we need is an image. So we're gonna say, uh, let me put it here so you can see. On a blog page, and let me actually render that on the page as well. So let's go here and say blog page. So on a blog page, we need an image, and this source is, for example, in this example, it's called Heaven's Doc. .jpg. Okay, did I spell that right? I'm not sure. Okay, I don't see it rendered on the page yet. Okay, Heaven, Haven. Oh, I spelled it wrong. That's why. Havanese dog. Havanese dog. Okay, so we have this image. I'm gonna put in a class name, and I'm gonna say aspect square. That doesn't look right, but object cover maybe. Okay, that looks right. And let's do a width of like 200 pixels. How about 400? Okay. And on the top of this page, Let's do section. Yeah, I'm struggling with JavaScript now. The sudden we are now starting. Ooh, that's not good. That is not good. If you don't control that right, you're gonna have some issues. I can get you up to speed though if you want. So um, all the just you need to know before JavaScript. I think someone made a video about this years ago. I checked it out. Um, Let me see. Uh, oh, that looks very bad actually. Is that how the video looks nowadays? Give me a second. Uh, Everything you need to know before all the before React. Okay. Okay. Java. Okay. Java script you need to know for React. I think there's a video. Yeah. Okay, this is the video. All the JavaScript you need to know before React. Oh, there's two videos actually. If you do these ones, you know, these ones and I don't know, like these one, you follow this and you master these ones, you can go to React. This will take you like maybe a couple hours to digest. But then if you do it in 2 days, you do 2 hours of this one and 1.5 hour of this one, you'll be fine. You will understand JavaScript, React. So don't worry too much about it. Got you up to speed. Okay, so in this section, I want to say with full MX auto. Okay, and I want to say let me see. Hmm, let's do flex. Let's do flex item center. Justify center. Okay, so you want to have that, and in the image we want to have like some text. So I'm gonna say lorem times 100. There's a lot of text. Oh, that's okay. That didn't go too well. And also I lost my dog here. And where's my section? Okay, my section is still here, but we can delete a lot. Oh, I thought it was like 100 words, but it's just uh, yeah. And flex call. Okay, let's do the class name. Let's do some text. The text is gonna be like 24 pixels. Okay, so this is my blog. Let's have some MX Auto. And oh, this doesn't work here anymore. Okay, let's just do padding 4. Maybe padding 6 will do. Okay, so we have a blog, right? And below the blog, we want to have like two buttons, right? Like share and a button subscribe, right? Share, subscribe, and let's do that inside of a div. So can get you up to speed, right? Okay, let's do some flex and let's do a gap of 4 so there's some spacing. Let's do for both the same styling. So we're gonna say class name is gonna be BG, gonna be Coral. Okay, that doesn't work because Coral doesn't exist, probably. Let's see. No, okay, that's fine. Let's do then orange 500. Okay, and let's make both of them have a padding of 4, so that's bigger. And let's have them have a width of 100 pixels. Okay, now we have to do something with the text. Text is gonna be, I don't know, like 16, font semi-bold, right? So a little bit there, and we're gonna do font white, or text white should be. Text white. What language is that? What do you mean? Oh, this one? So it's a fake language. It's called Lorem. It's a typing industry. Maybe it's even maybe it's what they call it? Latin? I'm not sure. But it's a simple dummy text for the typesetting industry since the 1500s. No, now you know. Okay. So you have a little bit of a blog here. So this is how a blog page is gonna look like, right? And what we want to do here is make this a little bit shorter. Yeah. So this is our block. Let's do some padding, margin top of like 4. So there's a little bit of spacing. How about 8? And how about we do this here? So we say to the P, we say MY of 8. So there's both spacing. So this is how my block is gonna look like. An image, some text, and the buttons. So the buttons are going to be static on every page, so we're going to leave that as is, but the text in the image does not. So we have to do something about that. So if this is my blog page, then it should have some static data. So let's make some static data. Let's say const static block is an array of objects. You're going to learn this when you're going to learn React, so don't worry about it. And I'm gonna say um, text, and this is going to be text1. And I also want to have an image, and this is going to be for this example, it's Havanese dog dot like this, right? Havanese dog, and we have an alt because we have an alternative here, which is going to be the image. I'm not sure if this is allowed, but we'll try. Okay, it's not allowed. Okay. Or maybe because we don't have a comma. Okay, image. Cannot find name image. Okay, no worries about that. Then I'm just gonna say Havanese dog. We'll worry about that later. Oh wait, maybe we can do it like this. Static block dot image. Can we do that? Go. Okay, that cannot happen. Okay, that's fine. Then we're gonna just say Havanese dog. Okay. So this is my first one, but we also have different ones. So we're gonna create those. So let's do text2, text3, text4. Maybe it's a good idea to also have an ID, right? So, God damn it. ID is gonna be 1 here. but we also need that for the other ones. So ID2, ID3, ID4. Hey Sopam, how are you doing? We are making a mini blog just for exercises for our interviews. Let's assume someone says, "Hey man, just make a dynamic blog." Now then I'm able to do that just out of hand. And I'm trying to freelance this now, but we'll see what happens. Okay, it's not used yet. Okay, great. Text 2 to 4. Okay, and we have a couple of images here. So, okay, so we're gonna say this one. All right, and we also have another one. Is Wolf on beach. Um, Copy. Wolf on beach. Okay, Wolf on beach. What you doing tonight? Yeah, block. Don't worry about it. Just let me work on it. We'll see where we end up. We had a sketch and we decided to go with the sketch what we have currently. Why did it not copy? All right, copy. It doesn't copy. I'm not sure why. Let me try again. Okay. Women's sports. Women's sports. Okay. All right. So this is something that we have. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, that's why. I know. So I'm preparing the most common things like making a testimonial, making a blog, making an API, like just the basic stuff, that they kind of ask. Maybe like a multi-step form, right? So those things. So, yeah. All right. So now we have this. We can actually make this more dynamic. So we can say static block. And we're going to map over that. The first one, we have an item and we have an ID. Now we don't need to use the ID here. We can just use item. We're going to return that. And the return statement, the first one is going to be an image. Oh, yeah, okay, an image. So Alt up a couple of times. And instead of saying Japanese dog here, we're just gonna say, this is not dynamic yet, right? I'm just gonna item.image. I'm gonna say that here. And item.alt, I'm gonna say. And we're also gonna get a text here. So did we get everything? Not yet. Well, if we are doing that, then we need to use fragments. So this is what you will learn later, Lisa. You will learn fragments. Fragments basically means an empty wrapper. So an empty tag. And we use this. You can also say fragments if you want. Or fragment. It's the same thing. So you can also use that one. And basically it's just to empty out stuff. Okay, so instead of this text, what we want to do is we want to say item dot text. So now we have them all by each other, right? We have these texts, we have this stuff, right? Let's go to lorem again. Let's do lorem times 3. Oh, that's way too big. Lorem times 1. Okay. Okay. They failed in my first practice interview at uni. They says, "Why do you want to work with us?" And I replied, "For money." Well, at least you said the truth, right? Yeah, this is something that you learn. Just ask ChatGPT what you need to say. I actually made a prompt for these stuff, so you should practice with AI, right? Okay. So they all have the same text, just for now, but different images and alts. So on every page, I want to see that, and on every page, I want to see the subscribe button. So this is the blog page, right? But this is not the real page yet. This is how a blog page I want it to look like. So um, we have to render the first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one, depending on what ID it actually is. But that's for later. So we're not gonna need to make a page, and when we click on it, we will go to one individual page. So let's make the normal blog page. So this blog is gonna go now. For now, I'm just gonna hide it, and we're gonna say images, and let's wrap a div around it of each. No, of just one. Okay, flex row, and we're gonna say gap of 6, and we're gonna say Havanese uh, dog JPEG. Okay, that's the first one. Let's also do the same class names, right? The class name is going to be aspect square. Uh, I'm gonna say object fit cover. I mean, and the width is gonna be like 250 pixels. Okay, and I want a couple of them. Like, okay, we have different ones. So we have iceberg, um, Greenland, iceberg Greenland. .jpg. Okay, see a little bit of an issue here. Not sure. Oh yeah, the others are rendered because they are here. Okay, wolf on beach dot jpeg, and the other one is woman sports. You need to learn how to interview. It's an important skill. I also need to learn that. I do not want to learn this, but I have to. Okay. You need to learn this, Subham. It's very important. Okay, this is my blog. Let's wrap all of them around an A tag. Should have done that before. We don't know what the A tag is going to be yet. That's fine. Okay. You need to learn that skill, Sapam. I am also learning that skill. I hate interviewing because they ask the most ridiculous question. I will tell you, I did not record the video yet, the daily video, but I will tell you the story. So yesterday I got an email from a couple of days ago. I'm not sure which day it was, and basically the HR said, "Hey man, we have an assignment for you. Make the assignment, and we will have a meeting on the 13th of September." That's what they said. And it's like they ask like, "Hey, create a dashboard for our budget system and show how it works and show your, thinking and those kinds of stuff. I'm like, I'm not making your homework, right? I'm not, I'm not doing that. Okay, so we have these blocks, and they should go to a different ID. So I should create a block. In a block, I should create like a slug, and in this slug, I should create the block page. I think that is the way to go. And depending on the block is what is going to work. Just gonna. I think this is how it works. I'm not sure. I'm just doing something. I've never made a blog before. I'm just guessing. And they want to make me an assignment, but if I send the assignment, what's gonna happen? They can say cancel the meeting and just say like, yeah, we either didn't find it good enough or they just steal my work. So I threw a curveball at them. I said, like, hey man, I can make this page. Just just one thing. Um, I want to make it just live, so you guys are there, right? Because I told them like I don't want my work to get stolen. I just gave the valid excuse. I got no answer. So that means that we're planning to steal my code. That's what it means. They say like, hey, make this exercise and we'll steal your stuff. Fuck off, right? Okay. Yeah, like, it's a real job application. It's a real company. The problem with this company is that they're not really hiring. They're just looking for someone that does free work, or they're just looking for someone that they're about to fire, but maybe there's a good guy around, right? Like if there's a better guy, they'll fire this guy. If it's not, they will let him stay for a couple months, right? So so this is things that you need to watch out for. I'm not sure if this will happen in your country, guys, but my country, this is a common thing. An assessment is fine as long as it is a technical interview, right? There's potential. So, but usually, what will happen is that they either don't watch your stuff, um, there's no place, or there are a couple of reasons. So yeah, I did nothing. Okay, let's check some links. What if I do one? What happens? Two. Okay. So we have like a blog page going on. It just doesn't work yet. Um, I have no idea why, so I have to think about it. Okay, so we have this one going to the page, and this one should go to the slug page. So there should be some kind of title going there for that specific page. So I need to think about how we're gonna do that. And I have no clue. No clue how we're gonna do that. Because if I click here, nothing's gonna happen, right? Makes sense. But I want something to happen like Havanese dog. That's something I want to happen. So maybe I can say um, maybe I can add some slugs here, but I'm not sure if that's gonna help. Maybe I can make an if statement, right? That will be too much. We can make a switch statement. So we can say if it's 1, show this text. If it's 2, show this text. But the block page is not showing because we are here. If we open this up, things break. That's good that they break because we're looking for the first one and the first ID doesn't exist. Also, the second one doesn't exist. Okay, it's good to know. Okay. Um, I can see a sort of interns in Netherlands to make them work for free. Yeah, yeah, they do this. They don't really pay the interns as well. You can have a free intern, and even if you did the best job ever, that doesn't mean they will hire you. Um, okay, this is the part where I'm lost. So let's do some critical thinking then. So we have a blog here. When I click on it, it should go to the ID with the corresponding image, corresponding text, and the buttons are always static. So the buttons is something that always should stay. So that is the good thing. So this is thing what we got right. This is the part where we should have some dynamics here. Hmm. I have no idea how to do it. Maybe we can do if statements like if ID is 1, show these. Mm, well, also we can set like a counter, but then we still don't have the slugs. So, because we need some kind of title going on. And the title needs to revert to the link. Okay, I think this is time for the AI then. So let me ask. I'm just gonna ask, um, how do we make a blog for each individual here? I'm not gonna ask for, I'm just gonna ask. Okay, first the correct block. When user navigates to a specific block 1, the codes need to fetch a corresponding block post data from the static block array based on a slug. Okay, so we need some kind of slug here. Analyze existing code. Understand how the um, static block data is structured and could be displayed. Implement them around the mirror how the slug is being passed to the block-based component. This might involve a routing library like React Router DOM or the built-in capabilities of your framework, newyork or Remix. Fetch the block based on your slug. Extract the slug from the URL in the static block array. Update, display the inference pulse. Okay. Let's see what it says. I did not ask to do that, actually. So I am going to reject that offer and I'm gonna read. Okay, I will have to modify the block. Let's see what it does. It says mapping, okay, and replace that with slug Uh, blog page props. Okay, so I don't have props currently for TypeScript, but that's okay. Find item, item ID, parse in slug or zero. I don't like this idea because that means that slug is a number. I don't want that. So what we can do here, we can say slug is the same as alt actually. So does internship count as work experience? That depends on what company. Some companies say no. I say yes. Like how they're gonna teach you all the React stuff and they're gonna say no man, you just it doesn't count. Right? We just teach you everything. You didn't do anything. Some companies are like that. Total bullshit. Everything counts as work. Okay. We have these slugs, right? And then it says columns blog post is static block.find. Yeah, we can do this. Static block.find item and item ID is um, either slug or or no. It doesn't say that slug exists, but it does because we have static block. Okay, maybe it's like item.slug. Why? Let me make it a little bit bigger and like this so I can read. Ah, I see. Um, but they assume that slug. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Uh, you also need a little bit of luck, right? So don't be insecure. I have to think about this. This comparison appears to be untouchable because types number and string null have no overlap. Cannot find name slug. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. Uh, mm, so what does it say? Okay, so I need to use blog post instead. So blog post. Blog post is possibly undefined. Okay. Map does not exist on type. Oh, I don't need to, I actually don't need to map. Okay, let me think. Let's remove the return first. So this one. Then we move these parentheses. Then we remove these ones. Okay. Then we can remove these ones. And then we can say here, blog posts, both of them. Okay, these ones. Okay, blog post. Okay. What does it say? It's possibly undefined. That's fine. Okay. Something like this. Okay. So we have something. Let's do auto proof none. And let's go to blog. Is this correct? Ah, it auto defaults to code. Give me a second. Okay, let me go here and say, I am creating a blog page here. Am I on the right track? Okay. I don't want to use React Router DOM. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Static block find item. Const log is a placeholder. You must replace with the code. This code. Mm, okay. But this line, const log is having this dog as a placeholder. You must replace this with the correct code to retrieve the slug from a chosen routing library. The exact implementation depends. Make sure the slug variable reflects the URL as block Japanese blog. The slug should contain Japanese dog. Okay. 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 What routing can I do to make this work without a library? Okay. Path name. Oh yes, I can. Assuming as block slug, pass the slug as a prop. Okay, let me see. There's no big change here. Retrieve the slug as a prop. It's confusing me because I already have the slug here, but it says, hey, use this one, so you can, let me see where it is. You can use it here, like slug a slug. Hmm. I think this chat will not help me. Let me try it here. Okay. Um, slug, uh, slug, blog page, tsx. Let me see. App.tsx. Finish the blog. Give me advice how to. Don't use libraries. And mm, don't use libraries and don't change naming. Okay, let's see what ChatGPT. Okay, you wrote this. This will always return the first element because your item slug with itself. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Routing is missing. Yeah, you need to point to the real block. No way to extract. You need a method to read the slugs. Okay. Okay, plan to finish block. Use native window location. So go to the block page. See you later, Subham. See you later. Okay. Yes, but if I do this, I will say, hey, this is an issue. Cannot find name slug because then because I need this. Const slug is the same as Windows location path name. Okay. Okay, that fixes the issue. And then it's a blog post not found. That's fine. I don't want that. Okay. Second. Uh Japanese dog, wolf and beach, women's sports. Okay. Find blog post. Okay. Let me see. So update blog post to read slug from the URL. Instead, link to blog slug. Handle routing. Because you said no libraries, use a simple conditional path name, return blog page. Okay, why this works? Spaces is slug are risky. I'll code them better as I'm not using spaces. Why do you see me use spaces? Nice try though. Okay, that's fine. So we need these ones in the app. So this is correct then. Let's go to the app and let's not do that here. Let's do that here. Okay. And then we need to update the link. So let's try one link before first. Okay. So let's go here and we're gonna say Havanese dog. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I don't see any text though. Well, let's see what this is. Okay, there's no source. Let's think about it. Let's see the linking. Havanese dog linking is fine. Okay, let's go to the blog page again. Image, log, text, all defined. Okay. Um. Okay, but that's the alt, right? The alt has a spacing. Okay. So it says that the spacing does work. Okay, let's do the split and pop just in case. Let's see if that solves the issue. I don't think so, but we can always try, right? Okay. Let's go to the app and we say blog Havanese dog. Okay, so the split is something we definitely not need to have. And then this one should work again, or doesn't. Okay, Japanese dog. And the image does not have a source. The text doesn't have anything, and a share and subscribe, yeah, that's fine. That's not a big deal. Okay, let's see what we are missing here. What is the missing piece of the puzzle? Is that it's either null or so let's do this then. Let's say slug. And let's see. Okay, that doesn't work. Let's remove these ones. This will give me issue in TypeScript, that's fine. Okay, and that doesn't play anything at all as well. Okay, but then I have to say if block is 0, then I have to do this. I don't want to do that, but let's try it anyways. Let's see if it complains. It stops complaining. Okay. Post not found. Okay, post not found. Okay, that's fine. Um, okay, let me see. Hmm. Okay, let's do Havanese dog like this, and let's do the same. Okay, Havanese dog. Okay, is that correct? Havanese dog. Let me just copy just in case. Okay, great. Let's change some all by the way, so we don't have this issue. Okay, let's actually change them all. Now that we are here. Okay, Wolf on Beach. Okay, women, woman, sport. Japanese dog. Okay, did I save everything? I did. So let's refresh. Ice block Greenland. Okay, but the slugs are working. I'm very happy that that works. Okay. Okay. Mm, okay. Let me. I changed it. Okay, let me see what the issue is. This is very sensitive subject. Okay, you're almost there, but the reason why it works yet is this. Hmm. Split. Pop. Okay. Let's see. Okay, but the images are not displaying. That is an issue. Let me see. Um, Great, but the images are not rendering. Okay. Move our images to the public folder. They are. Okay, so if I do this, then if it says this, then it should work. Okay. Interesting. This was a very interesting case. And when you navigate to blog have the browser looks for have.jpg because you wrote slash use absolute paths. Would this also work? Let me see. Let's go to this will double, so it won't work. So then I have to remove these ones. Okay, so if I remove these ones, okay, that's a good trick to know. So then the images will work now. Okay, okay, we definitely learned something here. I think the most important part is that if we find the blog and the path name seems to be both important. Uh, if path starts with I didn't know this method existed. Never knew this method existed. That's good to know. Okay. So this is a way to do a blog. Not bad. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna leave that here. I'm gonna go to my Notion, save that, and let's try that again tomorrow. So I'm gonna think about it. That we have to use start with Windows location path name, right? And definitely with the blog page is that we should use the find method on the static data and just render like this. All right. See you later.